Hi, welcome to HeKate's Crossing. Okay, what I want to do is I want to explore a little bit about reading with the Santa Muerte Oracle deck, but without going to the book all the time, being able to just look for a moment in some of the pictures and see how the story progresses, whether you use just the one card or whether you use two or three to start with. Try not to get too complicated when you're starting out working with the deck. Just try and keep it really simple, and then the more that you get used to it, the larger the spreads that you can do. So let's just sort of randomly, I'm just going to randomly choose a deck. So let's just shuffle for a minute. And let's just choose one of the cards. Now I've got no idea what the meanings are from the book. It just becomes too much for memorization. Let's just work from the image. So I always pull this one out. It's interesting. I always pull this number 29, which to me is always about creative process. And we know that straight away. About the creative process, because we see that there's artwork being done here, there's musicians, but I also get a sense of being watched. So you might be finding a way to be creative and yet you're being watched in this process. Now let's just see if we can move a little bit closer on this card. So let's have a look at this. Whoops, let's pull it out a bit more. So I hope that's clear enough for you. So we're looking here and you can see all this creative energy going on. There's a lot of creative. We see the birds that are flying free. We've got a tree here. So tree is against this sense of maybe growth, reaching beyond. We've got this red sort of stands out quite strongly here, so it may be about being grounded through this creative process. So to me, I'm just going to call this card creative process. This is my thoughts as I go through these cards. Okay, let's have a look at card number 2. Any card here. Okay, card number 10. We know it's a god of some sort. Now we're going to see that we've got some skulls down below. This to me is a sense, and there's some blood coming out here. So to me, I'm getting, this feels like something's coming out of the mouth. So it feels like something being spoken or a birth of words coming through in some way. So for me, I'm getting, and this is look like it's in a temple, so it seems that this is a sense of sacredness coming in. There is the skulls below, so it is to do with, I feel it's a lot to do with the mind. Maybe there is some mental stuff going on here. So we're looking at this creative process being birthed. To me, this feels like a birthing. Now, I've got no idea what the book actually says, but I'm just going to say this is a sense of healing coming from the creative process. The green talks about healing to me. Maybe a sense of bounty or abundance being produced. Again, that sense of money, green, in some ways. And of course, I know it's not all in all currencies, but this is here. So here I get the sense of this creative project being birthed into something more. Feels like it's being nourished into something more. I don't know why, but that's what I'm getting when I look at these cards. So we've got one more card coming through here, and we have this. Oh, here we've got the scythe. And we've got someone holding a scythe, and we've got someone standing below that person or kneeling below that person. So I feel like something is being removed, being cut away. Maybe it is a sense of this card number 32. So I feel like it is Santa Muerte. So I definitely feel like there is there is this cutting away of the old, so that the new. So we've got this creative project or this creative process in the making. It's being birthed into something new. It's being spoken about. Maybe there's a sense of being spoken about it, and there is about a sense of removing the old So we're cutting away, we're transforming in some way. It does feel like there is a sense of, I'm getting a lot of crescent moon here, so maybe it's at a moon phase, acknowledging the moon phase that's going on. Again, I get that sense of releasing, letting go. There's some light in here, so maybe we need to find the light out of the darkness. So what messages are you getting when you're looking at these 3 cards? I think that's really important for you to or for me personally, is just take a moment, look at the images and what do they actually speak of, without actually looking at the book or anything like that. So I really want to explore working with different oracle decks in this way, forgetting about the keywords or titles that are in the book, but actually just looking for a moment at the imagery and what does the cards actually speak of. So to me, this is about a creative, again, I get that whole of creative energy, the sense of being able to fly free, maybe reminding ourselves to stay grounded in this process. Maybe we feel like we're being watched as we are doing things in our life and on our path. We feel like we're being watched. And so we really want to allow the process to come forth in some way. Maybe we need to speak about it. We need to, I just feel like this whole there's something coming out of the voice, you know, speaking about it. Maybe we need to promote our artwork. Maybe I'm getting a sense of promoting our creative energy. So what do we actually need to let go of? What fear? Again, I get the sense of fear. What fear do we need to actually let go of so that we can let the light to shine through on our creative projects coming through? So that's one way of looking at these cards, oracle cards coming through. So I love the way that when you start working with oracle cards, that they can be done in a way that allows us just to look at the imagery. Let's have a look at another 3 cards, shall we? Let's randomly choose 3. No idea what they are. So let's just take a moment to have a look at that. Card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. Oops. Can we see those clearly? So let's have a look at the first one here. Here we've got this skeleton, this person, standing in front of an altar. So that to me is a sense of sacredness. It's about finding a sense of sacredness within the process. Okay, so we're finding a sense of sacredness, a protectiveness within this area. Maybe we need to find a sense of a place that allows us to feel sacred, feel special in whatever's going on. Here we get a sense of the fruit. So we're eating fruit in some way, or we're picking fruit. It's this beautiful sunny day, so it does feel like there's a sense of bringing things into fruition, harvesting. Maybe we need to harvest something in a sense of sacredness. What do we need to bring into our life that is sacred? And we get a sense of enlightenment here. We have the lightning bolt here. So to me, this is very much about the mind, communication, self-expression within oneself to bring the healing process. So we need to find a sense of sacredness, bring that into fruition, and so that we have a sense of understanding in the process and what's actually going on. So I love the way that the images can really speak volumes when you just put the book aside for a moment. I mean, the book's great. There's some great information if you're doing personal study, but when you're learning to read the cards intuitively and just being able to use them with people without not worrying too much about the books, I think this is a great way to sort of connect to the messages. This is what I'm getting at the moment. It's a sense of sacredness within the whole possibility and what's going on for you, finding that sense of specialness, that honouring of oneself, honouring those around you, honouring those that have passed and maybe in some way. And it is about bringing things into fruition, maybe about harvesting, you know, what are you bringing into your path right now? And this can come through a sense of understanding. To me, this is about the understanding. And it can come from a place of surrender. and I think that's the position that she holds her arms out wide. So I feel like there is that sense of that surrender to that understanding that's coming through in this moment. So this is how I'm working with the cards in some way. So I hope that gives you something to sort of work with. Oops. Something to work with. So yeah. So I'm loving the way that these cards really work together in this way when you're looking at them. Look at the colours. You know, what's this yellow is so bright. It does seem to sort of say that maybe there's a lack of light in your life. Maybe there's a lack of sunshine. You know, maybe it's reminding you to have a bit of sunshine in your day. Maybe to spend some time outside could be really important for you. So look at the imageries and what do the cards actually say to you? Let's do another 3. Okay, so let's have a look at these 3. I know I pulled them out backwards, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter the way that they sort of come out. You can choose. Okay, so here we've got here. Again, I feel like this is ooh, here I get touching the belly. So I'm getting a sense of a pregnancy coming in. Definitely there's a baby cradle here, so maybe there's a child already. So maybe there's a birth of a child, maybe there's already children around you. And it's about taking, I feel like this is taking, I've got the word taking seed. So in other words, like planting the seeds to be able to have this nourishing others, or germination of others, how to develop others in their growth. Now here we have this God here, and I'm getting the sense of fiery flames. Again, we have the sense of being able to surrender to this sacred temple. Again, I'm getting a temple aspect to the card, so again I feel like it's a place of sacredness, which seems really, really important. There's flowers which speak of growth, so I feel like there's a sense of a burning creative energy. So we have the sense of burning energy, so we have a birth to something coming in, and we're to maintain a sense of maintaining it. Well, you've got someone building, or the hammering something, hammering a house. So again, we get the sense of building something. So I'm getting a lot about developing, building on something more, foundations, maybe building on more something, developing further in the journey. So you've got this creative energy to maybe create something a bit more to it. And I think the red stands out quite strongly here. So again, you've got that being grounded is quite important in the energy, being able to sort of have the sense of energy in the situation. Communication, the blue sky, maybe with the clouds, maybe there's a sense of removing the sense of confusion from the whole situation. So it's interesting coming through when you're looking at the images, what other stuff actually comes through in the sense of development and growth, creative process in some way, surrendering to the creative process, allowing yourself to build and develop whatever it is in the process as well. So I think that's really cool, the way that these cards come together when you just look at the imagery and not worry too much about titles or other aspects as well. I think you can get a lot more out of the cards in a self-understanding. I think that's what comes through for me. So yeah, that's it for me. I just want to show you a little way that I work with the Santa Muerte Oracle cards without using the book. And you can do this with any Oracle deck. I just want to start sort of working through my Oracle decks and showing how they can be used to create messages without using the book. Even though the book is fantastic, and I would never throw them away as such, but they are, and the books are great for the spreads. They're great for the meaning of the card if you want to dive into them a little bit detailed. If you want a little bit more information about what the card means or what the card's about. But for me, I love just being able to just use the imagery. So anyway, that's it for me. Check the links below, check the links on my channel, like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care and bless it.